Amazing. Good morning. If you're just waking up, you're still right on time, but we kicked this off by 6:30 a.m. We're going deeper now into road safety, and most Kenyans want to know how it's going down on different roads, especially in Nairobi and its environs. But I always like to say, if you're watching in Zambia, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Uganda, Canada, Scott Marshall, Chichi, and of course, the CS in Jamaica. Good morning. Thank you very much. Please share with us tips if we just want to, compare internationally how those routes look like, how the sports look like. It's good to learn. But of course, a great shout out to NTSA that is always actively watching the Arrive Alive segment, and all the road safety ambassadors who have graced this particular set. And most importantly, Mr. Worotet, Wamuyu Kariuki, Karis Mugo, David Kahara, of course Yasin, and all you other amazing road ambassadors. Of course, I will not forget Dennis, who has, of course, brought very, very important insights on matters road safety. We'll be going into motorsport because this is the motorsports edition, and a lot of things will be discussed here. Kama, you are an adrenaline enthusiast. I don't know if there's anything like that, but I know they say there's something that has to come with adrenaline and speed. And as much as you're telling people, please don't speed because it kills, the people who actually speed as a sport. I don't know if I'm correct. I'll find out from the expert on set. At Road Alerts KE, habari za asubuhi. These guys woke up so early to say, I'd look up TV, mkofiti, tukopoa. You want to check on the roads real quick, what's happening with this particular handle, taking center stage. Road Alerts, remember I'll start with the Road Alerts, then go to Atma 3 routes. As we are speaking, Mombasa Road moving, but slow at Cabanas, and you approach Nyayo Stadium, but clear after there. Now, guys, take this very seriously. It's not an hour ago. It's just about 16 or so minutes ago. And Mombasa Road is moving, but the whole idea here is that it is slow at Cabanas, and as you approach Nyayo Stadium, but clear after there. And I hope you get to be patient until when it starts to clear out for you. Wayaki Way, courtesy of Ad Road Alerts, is clear all the way, slow at Westlands near Naivas. So it's pretty much this and that on these roads. Now it's clear on Wayaki Way all the way, but slow at Westlands near Naivas. So if you're using that road as well, you are up to date. James Gishuru Road is clear and moving well. No wonder my guest got here on time. Yes, James Gishuru Road is clear and moving well, so you all are lucky if you're using that road. Again, courtesy of Road Alerts KE, Kiambu Road is moving well, slow as you approach the DCI offices. So we're giving you this particular specific, areas just to know where to, slow down. Brace yourself and relax, all right? So Kiambu Road is moving well, but you're slow as you approach the DCI offices. Anything else on Langata Road? Road Alerts KE, what is going on Langata Road? The Thika Road is moving well to Muthaiga, where it slows down. So if you're just leaving the house, you want to, psychologically prepare for a bit of a go slow after Muthaiga. Okay, but that's good news. Looks like today you are all, doing a good job waking up early and planning early. There's something that we have to, of course, share here. At Team Taiwan has shared an update via at Road Alert saying, drive while drunk, knowing that kuna only 30 beds. Wow. Kwa Spinal Referral Hospital here, Kenya. Whoa. At Team Taiwan, that's a very powerful tweet early in the morning. For all the motorists, remember, I will just read it again because I feel it's very, very important. Drive while drunk, because if that's what you choose to do, that's all right. But please be aware that there are only 30 beds in the Spinal Referral Hospital in Kenya. Probably there's no space for you. So have that in mind. Let's just cross over to Atma 3 routes real quick, because it's really, really important to actually take a look at what all these handles are saying this morning. Now, there's a really interesting pic. Whoa, you guys are on a parking lot. This looks to me like, wow. Okay, just 2 minutes ago, the industrial, plotterite takes their morning ritual to the farm, Uhuru Highway. But what is happening on Uhuru Highway this morning? What is happening, you guys? I hardly expect traffic there, but it looks like it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's see. All right, nothing much going on at Mathurits today. Let's see. Okay, again, retweeted what Team Taiwan is saying, so I will re-emphasize it because it's very important. Drink while drunk, knowing that kuna only 30 beds. Guys, I cannot say that enough. You don't have space in those hospitals and ICUs and particular hospitals. All right, what else is going on here? I can see at Kyoko Mbuve is not having a very good morning, and he says via at Mathurits, at Kenha, at Transport KE, our authorities act when someone's life has been lost. Doesn't okay, don't those Kenha guys pass there? Haven't they seen that? What action did they take? What exactly is going on? Let me know. But of course, this is something that Kenyans have been saying over and over again. And I know at Mathurits is watching, at NTSA is watching what is going on with the authorities and them taking action. Now, allow me to take a stop there. All right, Kenyans, would I stop there? Or would you please let me know what's happening in your respective counties? I would love to know. I would love to know, courtesy of at Mathurits and at Road Alert KE. But it looks like it's pretty dry today. We were having very straightforward tweets there on road safety, and it's moving slowly, which is a good thing, on various roads, Thika Road included, which really I am fascinated about that. Good thing is that it's moving. All right, you guys are not a parking lot except for Uhuru Highway. Yes, Uhuru Highway, you guys have a long morning with me. You have to watch this edition on Arrive Alive because at the end of the day, we all want to fulfill those promises. But I want to appreciate the handles that do a great job in ensuring we all know what's going down every morning, and so we know what routes to take, what alternative ones to take, and what not to do, like no distractive driving, put your phone away, and don't drink and drive. If you have to, there's no space. Okay, welcome to the set.
Thank you.
They saw you on the posters.
Oh, okay, thanks.
And they said, whoa, we're waiting to see him in amazing gears.
Well, we don't do gear as such for what we do. But ours is a bit different. What we do is a bit different. So I'll explain it to you over the course of the hour.
Guys, so we're just getting started. It's a conversation, so don't expect us to have an interview session. He is actually, what do I call you?
We do motorsports, but for amateurs. So it's amateur motorsports. It's not professional. There's professional and there's amateur. So we're amateur.
So you're amateur, yes. And it's safe to have amateurs on the motorsport.
Yes. Now that's the difference that we are trying to bring out and let guys know.
All right, guys. So there's more to just learn here this morning, and some are also asking what is motorsports, what's the difference between motorsports and safari rallies. We're just going to delve deeper into that. But first, allow me to welcome my guests on set. This is Arrive Alive. It's dope this morning, and most of them know you as K. Wachira.
Yes.
Please do a formal introduction right there, and just vibe with them and welcome them to the conversation.
Okay, so my name is K. Wachira. I work for a group called Club TT Motorsports. We organize amateur motoring events because there's professional and amateur, so we're trying to do the amateur side. Yeah, so I'm also a racer. Yeah. I also have a business that repairs or builds these kinds of cars. So yeah, that's me and a father somewhere.
All right, so now let's start with the amateur motorsport. And first, what is motorsport? And then the difference between the amateur and the professional.
And the professional.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So with professionals, it's what you see. Safari Rally, it's Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So it's the others. It's what you see every day. Then with amateurs, what we do is we try and we make it accessible. It's not as competitive, it's not as fast, it's not as exciting, or it is exciting for us, but we try and give guys an opportunity to have that feel in a more affordable way, in a safe environment, Basically we're taking people off the streets.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
if someone has a Subaru or they have that adrenaline rush,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
there is no point of them doing this on the streets.
Absolutely.
So we just give them a platform where we go we take a road, or we take airstrip. We do our events on an airstrip. So we take like an airport airstrip, close it down, and have like safety protocols, and we make it happen.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
I like when you say you're taking them off the streets.
Yes.
And I want to know where the inspiration came in when you started this, because it must have started from somewhere.
Yeah.
You must have, picked up a few people who seemed like they needed some space to actually exercise what they were doing on the streets at the time.
Yeah, so it's us. It's us.
Yes.
We were the ones on the streets
Oh,
at some
okay.
point. So we were like, no, this is not safe. What we're doing is not right. Then, of course, with the internet, we saw what other countries were doing, our colleagues were doing. So we were like, okay, fine, you know what? Yes, this is what we need to do for us. Make it safer for everyone. Yeah.
And I like that's where we're actually going, making the road safer for everyone.
Yes.
And still being able to exercise your passion, but in an appropriate
in a
way.
safe environment.
So let's just, before we talk about more about the amateur, motorsport, I'm curious on what are the dangers that, anyone else who's not yet, being, in your group, what are the dangers they're posing the rest of the road users to? Because maybe they haven't just found out.
Yeah,
Yes.
you see, to them, they think, okay, fine, me, I'm just going fast. It's my car, it's my fuel, it's my everything. So I'm just going to drive a bit aggressively, because I feel like driving aggressively today on Uhuru Highway. And you see, now what happens is, when you start crashing, you're not crashing by yourself. You're crashing into other people, a family.
Yes.
Yeah, So we're trying to tell them, no, don't do that. Just wait for us to do the events. We have, like now, we started with, I think, 4 events a year as one group. Now we are like 5 groups that are doing 4 events a year. So you have like 16 events a year. That's a lot. So you have all these avenues to enjoy your car. Don't race on the streets. Yeah, it's not safe. It's not safe for anyone, and it's not legal. Yeah.
It's not legal.
Yeah.
That's just because now they have known you're putting everyone at risk. It's not cool the way you think it's cool.
Yeah.
The legal aspect.
Yeah.
I know you're not an advocate, but you could get to tell us 1 or 2 things that don't go so well with the law.
Yeah, everything you'd be doing, like when you start driving aggressively in the streets, everything you're doing is, like 90% of what you're doing is not legal. You'll be above the speed limit. You'll be, like, how you maneuver on the road.
Changing the lanes,
everything. Everything. You'll probably skip lights. Everything you'll do is going to be illegal. So just don't do it. And you see now on our end, when you're racing in a closed environment in an event, there's even more pride. If you beat so and so, you're like, okay, yeah, everyone saw you beat so and so, so even you feel more. Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
Are there females in the in the
yes,
motorsport?
we're trying to encourage them.
You're trying to encourage them.
Yeah, but we have, okay, fine, maybe 15% of the races that show up are female. But yeah, we're trying to get more.
Okay.
Yeah. But females are more, like, when they want to race, they are more, like, they'll sign up immediately with whatever they have. Like, you tell them, hey, you come race. Then they'll be like, yeah, sawa, tunakuja. They'll sign up without a lot of questions. For the dudes, we have to beg them.
Okay. Which is quite an irony.
Yeah, you have to beg them, because there's, okay, for our events, because they've grown, no one wants to lose in public.
True.
Yeah, so
Okay.
everyone, you see testosterone, everyone wants to be number 1, everyone wants to be. So when you tell them, come race, they're like, because then they're thinking they are going to lose, and they're going to lose in front of everyone. But for the females, then they're like, yeah, I'm coming to have fun, which is what we started out as. We wanted guys to come and have fun in their cars.
In their cars.
Yeah. So,
I'm actually curious because we've been talking about character development, you know, in relationships, and I'm looking at that real character development from guys who are racing on the streets, and now they're tamed into, you know, do this in the safe space.
Yes.
Do you think this is adding more to, you know, how they are disciplined on the road because they're looking forward to the event? So is it calming them? Is it good for us for road safety?
It's very good because now, first of all, in our community, once you the moment you join our community, we shun anything to do any racing outside the events.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll like if you find out you're doing something stupid, we'll call you out on it immediately, and yeah, if you continue, we'll cast you out, and if you kizidi, we might even call the law on you. So yeah, we are doing our part one step at a time. Yeah.
And I think we need more of this. And one thing that I want to ask, which you know might not, I don't know, I feel it's relevant on the age group of, you know, the people making up this amateur motorsport, because I'm assuming it's been actually in data, overspeeding and such kind of crime, drunk driving, racing on the main roads has just been equated to young people. So I don't know if this is the reality on the ground, because then you can tell us more.
Yeah, but well, everyone is doing it.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Okay.
It's not just. I don't know, but I feel like everyone is doing it. Everyone is doing funny things on the road. So yeah, it's not just the young guys. Yeah.
So you have the older people in the crew.
In doing the
amateur motorsport, because
in
what
terms
happens,
of our sport, in terms of our sport, everyone is in. We have as young as even younger. We have as young as 18, and we have I think we had in one of our events we had a grandmother, so she was maybe like 70 something, 80. 70.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
We should have gotten a video of her and just do a throwback.
Yeah, I wish we did. I wish we planned earlier. Yeah,
oh my goodness.
And she did well, because we were about 30 races. I think she was number 18 or 17.
Amazing.
Yeah. But she comes from a family of all her sons were racers.
Okay.
So she comes from a family of racers and mechanics and people who hang around cars. So and her husband and everyone. So yeah. So
we get it. But I'm also curious on how you ensure these people are safe in that particular space. What are the safety measures there? Because it's an airstrip, all right, and it's a race. At the end of the day, we still want them back home. Yeah. What are the safety measures put in place?
So what happens is, for us as an amateur group, where we try and mimic what we learn from the professionals. So first and foremost, it's a closed environment. Yes. So if you get an airstrip, we've taken the airstrip. There's nothing that you're going to run into. There's little that you're going to run into. You're not going to get a boda or a matatu. And then, so now we make sure the semi-dangerous areas, we slow the cars down using obstacles. Then we have an ambulance. We have usually
amazing.
Not just an ambulance. The ambulance, Panado. It's when we hire that ambulance, I feel the pinch, because it's from what they tell me, it's an ICU ambulance. Oh. Yeah, so it's top notch. So we have that one, and we have a fire truck.
Oh, really? You have all these things in place?
Yeah, so we have the fire truck. We have the county behind us. Usually we involve the county, so the county bring whatever they're bringing. They give us a fire truck. They also give us an ambulance, now a normal ambulance, on top of our very expensive ambulance. And then, so we have medical, we have marshals, we have medical marshals, we have normal marshals to keep the crowd at bay. So it's basically we usually cover what you see on the professional aspect. We take it and mimic it on. Yeah, try and make it work. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Try and make it work. And I'm just going to be asking you if there are any success stories of someone who started as an amateur, or people who are using the amateur experience and finally getting to the professional, side of it shortly. Yeah. Allow me to appreciate those who are watching, of course, on social media. We're live on Facebook at Lookup TV, and today we're talking about motorsports. And I think I find it really exciting to just know how it works, what they do if we don't get to the event, what usually happens before the event, and what are put in place. And of course, Oching Sankara, it's good to read from you, saying watching live, okay, from your comfort zone. I think that's how I will read it for this morning. Good morning, Anki. Good morning, Sankara. And of course, Joyce Kimari, as always, we appreciate your presence from South Africa and saying, listening and learning this morning. Now, I was curious about, you know, everyone starts from somewhere, but we've had issues with drivers on the road who have actually not really been trained in driving schools.
Yeah, there are a lot. They buy licenses.
They buy?
Yeah.
From where?
This is Africa.
No way. HSA Kenya, what? People are buying licenses, and do you know that they are doing that from where? Could we start doing that research? And the guest has just said, but this is Africa. I wish the narrative was different.
Yeah, this is Africa, man. So I know, I've heard of people who buy licenses. So there's a lot, like even people asking you why you're going to driving school. You're like, I want to learn. Yeah. They're like, no, I know a guy. You know, so it is Africa. So it's sad, but it is what it is.
Really risky for our children, for our grandmas, for everyone else. But we'll come to that shortly. About motorsport, you've talked about you guys start amateur, but you're just trying to mimic what's happening in the professional world of it. Do we have transitions? Have you had success stories of people who actually went and did it professionally? Yeah, just less than a year ago, imagine. So we had one of our own who was driving at one of the biggest events in the world, the WRC. So he's a guy called Andrew Murioki. He was driving under the Betika rally cars. You remember all the hype in it? The Betika cars. That was one of our own. So we're very, very, very proud of him. Yeah, he did us proud. Yeah. All right. So just making it that far. Yeah. And I'm curious. I'm curious. I want to know what are the possible accidents and crashes that could happen during this sport. And how you counter them, because these things happen. But someone would want to join you guys, but they also need to know psychologically what is expected and why these things sometimes get to happen. Okay, fine. So it's like, first of all, we try. When we started with closed roads. Yes. So we used to close a road somewhere, a nice, good-looking road somewhere in Kiambu or Muranga. Then put our safety aspects, slow down the cars, but still there was a level of danger to it. But so that's when we moved to airstrips. Okay. So if you look at an airstrip, there's significantly less things that can go wrong on an airstrip than on a closed road. There's less trees. There's less, like, even if you go off the road, you're not going to hit a tree or a pole. So yeah, we have that. Lucky for us, we've not had incidences since we started the airstrips. Amazing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not saying it's never going to happen, but again, it all depends on the level of preparedness. Level of preparedness. Yeah. So when it happens, you need to be prepared. You need to have, like, because we have safety marshals, people who are trained in extraction. We have people who are trained in first aid. So we have that. We have the ambulances. We have the county medical on board. So it's just prepare for the worst, and just, don't let it happen, but just prepare for the worst. Don't let it happen. You know, I have a guest here who is a driver trainer who is very, very key on the terminology, saying accidents cannot be prevented. You know, you cannot work around an accident and try to prevent it, but you can prevent crashes. So he's saying most of the things that are happening on Kenyan roads are not accidents. He's saying they are things that could be avoided, and possibly there was lack of preparedness. And I like that you brought it up, even on how to counter those particular crashes. We're coming back, of course, to talk about what you view, what your view is on a good motorsport driver or a racer, attributes of a racer, values of a racer, because you guys have values as well.
Yes.
That's why you're able to put the team together.
Yes.
I also would love to know about the structures of those particular cars, because they're built differently for a reason.
Yes.
But when you use it on the road, I don't know what you have to say about that before we even come back after the break.
So, yes, those are specifically designed cars to go a bit faster than the normal cars. That's why we don't encourage anyone to go fast on public roads. We are like, just wait for the event, and then you can show us what you have built. And even then, we will constantly try and check you. We won't let you go overboard. You get, because people can, like guys with money, someone has more money. We are not all equal. So the guy with more money can build a monster. You get something that goes 300, 400 kilometers per hour. So you don't want that. So we constantly check them so that we level the playing field, and we don't want anyone going 300 kilometers per hour at a competition. You see, there's a higher risk factor.
Okay.
Yeah, so we constantly check them and limit them to level the playing field. Yes.
You said not more than 300 kph, but how? What's the speed limit?
No, as we barely go past 100. We don't.
No.
We barely.
But when we watch you guys, it seems like you're all over there with the speed.
No, we don't let it go overboard because there's more risk factor. If you hit something at 40 kph, 50 kph, you'll damage the car, probably damage the tree. But we are not going to let you hit something at 200 or 100. We don't want that. Yes.
You're probably losing your life at that point.
It's a high risk. Yeah.
It is a high risk.
Yeah.
Now, again, before I take a short break, there are just common things that any driver should have. Their values. And when you're doing a race, you just don't go walk in there and get into, the race. What preparedness psychologically and in yourself, what are some of the tactics and techniques, attributes? Just let us know what a motorsport driver is.
First of all, before you even get to the person, we need to, for the car, before an event, we have something called scrutineering, which I forgot to mention.
Okay.
So during scrutineering, we inspect the car and make sure this car is fit to do the things you're about to ask it to do, because you're about to take corners at a higher rate, you're about to brake harder, accelerate faster, So we need to make sure the car is tip-top. Safety, your belt needs to be working. You can't have other things flying in the car, no handbags, no nini. You take it all out. No glass, no nothing. So, we have to do the scrutineering, and it's a bit thorough. Those guys, they don't joke around. Even me, and it's my events, I've been disqualified one time. We do scrutineering.
Yes.
Then the driver has to have no shorts, no slippers.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
So if you can get the gear, the better. But minimum, we want to have a very specific helmet. It's a motorsport helmet, so you have to do that. You can't come with a border helmet.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So
it has to be appropriate in quality.
Yes. So that's on the minimum, but we also there's no sandals, no nothing. So we do scrutiny for the car, scrutiny for the driver. You can't be drunk. There's alcohol test. So there's no even drinking the previous day. We've gotten a lot of grief on that. Because if you drink the previous day, it will pick it up the next day, even if you look sober.
Okay.
But we do that. We do play our part. Then also, if you're coming to race, you have to know that you're not coming to risk your life to win. There's no prize. There's no, you're getting a trophy, yes, but it's all bragging rights. What we've given you is the venue, the platform for you to have fun.
All right.
It's like me building a basketball court in your estate. That doesn't mean it's going to be a championship. It just means you and your friends now can come in and play basketball and have fun with your friends.
Meet new people, have fun, get
Yes.
more skills.
Yes.
And I like that, guys, people are working on helping us weed out this super racers on the normal roads, very inconveniencing and putting all the road users in some sort of, hazardous, moment. So we are hoping to hear more and how many groups like this exist in the country, because it would be so helpful to have somewhere else to share this energy other than on the normal roads where we have kids, we have pedestrians and pillions and, borders and different cars for that matter. You are watching the Morning Drift. This is Look Up TV, and today Arrival Live is talking about motorsports. I know most of you just watch it for fun, really didn't know what happens behind the scenes, what safety measures they put there in place, for what reasons, why do they wear this professionally, why do amateurs not necessarily have to wear some sort of gears, and what fun, it is to actually do it at the right place to speed and not on the roads where you actually put all the road users in, in a fix, I would say in a fix. And of course, someone is talking to us here on WhatsApp. Good morning from Meru all the way. Good morning. I am Brian Magiri, a big fan of motorsports, and I'm a car enthusiast, and I love racing plus drifting. Welcome back, Kay. And could you please tell me what drifting is? And good morning, Brian. Thank you. What is drifting when it comes to motorsport?
Drifting is a form of motorsports, also closer to us than the professionals, because it's fun, it's new, so it's basically wow. Okay, fine. Where do we start? You're basically maybe just taking the car sideways, so when the cars are going sideways instead of straight.
All right. Is that a corner or why
yeah,
is it?
so it's like constant corners, but the car is always sideways. You're basically taking it sideways full time.
Full time.
Yes.
So you're always this.
So it's like an art. So it's a glide. So when you're gliding, you get points. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When you're gliding, which
It's
is
like,
a new term again,
yeah.
you're getting points. It means, why didn't you come with your car? Because that way we'll see the real, like, cause
it wasn't ready. It wasn't ready. But I would have next time.
Next
invite,
time,
invite me next time.
Are you promising them?
Invite me next time. I'll come. Yeah, I'll come fully kitted.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, Sam from Eldoret saying, loving the show as always. Thank you, Sam. Good morning, and thank you for that feedback. And at least we've learned something new. It's called drifting and gliding. Yeah. And of course, I can see here, just you want to give a shout out to Road Alert KE? Would you love to give a shout out to the Road Alert KE?
Road Alert KE, thank you. We are doing the same thing, just differently. So let's not fight. Okay. So let's not fight. I like how you said that. We will dig deeper, probably put you on one side together and find out what you do together just differently. And of course, let me see. John Joy has a question. And she's saying, loving the show, Anki, thank you. And when hosting such events, she's asking, because of the large amount of people, what do they do to make sure the environment isn't compromised? I know you're an amateur, so the airstrip is pretty much okay, but maybe she's asking about the situations or when you used to have to, block roads, specific roads. So, like most times we usually have, like for my last event, we had an actual waste management company come on board as a sponsor. That's Vince Cleaners. I'm sorry, I forgot the name, but it's Vince. So they came on board, and they were part of our waste management team. That means after the event, they collect all the plastics, all the trash, and they clean up the area for us. If we don't have, before we had these guys come on board, we still need to have a company that would pay now to do the cleaning for us. For the airstrip, it's the airstrip that does their own cleaning. We pay. Okay. We pay the airstrip, but they do their own cleaning because they're the ones that know how it's meant to be. So yeah, we try not to impact the environment negatively.
Okay.
We also have insurance.
Please talk about that.
Yeah, so we also have insurance for the event. So we have, it's like we are amateur, but we usually just we go above and beyond. So we've been having insurance for third-party insurance for the event, which means if one of our drivers maybe knocks over something, a signboard, anything, like destroys the environment, they are covered.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You try, like you said earlier, you try the best not to have these things actually happen.
Yes,
but in case they do,
in case they happen, we have things. We have things in place to make it easier.
Are those particular drivers covered as well? Are they insured? Do they have personal covers?
Well, now we're working with one of the companies, one of the insurance companies, to have all drivers are covered all drivers are covered to some extent.
To some extent.
Yes, yes. But the event is covered. The event is covered.
Is it then their personal initiative to ensure that they're not just covered to
now
some
we want
extent?
to force them.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, we want to force them for each person to have now that cover, because as of right now it's optional. So we want to force them to have some form of very strong cover now for their coming events. Yes.
And I know we are glad to have you here, so let's take advantage of his presence and ask why then it is important. Because if it gets to a point where it was optional, but we want to force you guys to have the cover, then it has to be very, very important. Why is it important for any racer or anyone involved in motorsport, either as an amateur or professional, to actually be covered?
Yeah, so because you see now, if anything happens, it's us who are doing it's us who are taking you to the hospital.
Yes.
It's us who are taking. So we want also, it's good for you to also have your cover, just in case our cover is not enough. You get.
It might not be enough.
It might not be enough. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll get you to the hospital. We'll get, but we'd want you to also have a very strong cover for yourself that understands what you're doing. Because even right now, most companies might not understand what we are doing. So they'll ask you, is it Safari Rally? Then you go like, no. Then what is it? It's racing. But what kind of racing? Because we know Safari Rally, we don't know. So yeah, we're trying to get a company that we break it down to them what is happening, so they understand what is happening, and then from there we can force these guys to take this cover. Because right now, also the reason it was optional because of it was amateur. Most amateur across the world, amateur is just meet the minimum requirements and come and race. But yeah, of course, we would want guys to be covered. Yes.
The reason why I'm very, keen on that is even those who are driving on normal roads and don't have to be racing are encouraged to
get covered.
Get cover. Because anything might happen on the road. So people say, oh, it's expensive, it's not a priority. I really think it is a priority, and all Kenyan drivers should actually think that direction. But also in the types of the cars that we were talking about, your cars. I wanted to know what types there are, what brands there are, and people just know Subarus for some reason.
Yeah, the Subarus are the easiest cars to own and go fast. Back in the day, maybe in the early 2000s, up until maybe 2015, those were the cars you could buy with your first little income. And it will be fast and exciting. But nowadays we have other cars. But generally it's just we encourage people to come with any car.
So other cars are which cars? Because people are watching and they want to know, okay, come on, give us details.
The GTI has become a very popular car nowadays. So the Golf GTI is the new beginner's entry-level car. So we have Golf GTIs, and we have then from there it just goes like there's Mitsubishis, there's...
It's okay to actually mention brands today. So feel free to mention them. I'd love to also learn. We have Subaru Boy in the studio actually.
Okay, fine. So now we have, for the Subarus, that's basically what you need. The Subarus, the WRXs, the turbos. And then now we have their rivals, which was the Mitsubishis, the turbos. Which are also like now those are rivals. They've been rivals since the 90s. So it's always it's like you're either a Subaru head or a Evolution head. And then now from there we have the GTIs that have come up, and the Audis. The Audis are coming up, which is like almost the same thing.
Oh, I saw an Audi.
Yeah.
Did you see a trend?
Wait, which one?
It had turned over. It was a very serious accident, and someone
Which
was
one?
like, "Ow!"
When?
I think I saw something like that online.
Okay, I don't know.
And we will share it with
Yeah,
you if you
yeah,
follow us
yeah.
closely on our social media
Yeah,
platforms,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I was like, no, that's not an Audi.
Yeah,
Why would you use an Audi to race Kenyans?
Oh no, it's a very good car, and it's not like out of your price range. They are actually very good cars, and they are not overly priced.
All right.
It's better than any Mercedes or anything, and it's faster than most of those other cars. So
So it's an
yeah.
assumption.
Yeah, it's an assumption that the car is expensive. It is not. It is a very good car.
All right, Kenyans, you can
Audi
afford it.
Munilipe.
Wakulipe, with your marketing. So now, which is your preferred car? And how long have you been doing this?
Okay, fine. So
Racing.
I got my car in 2007. So I've had the passion. No, actually, my passion for racing started before then, because I used to, when everyone else had video games and they were playing FIFA and I was playing racing games since childhood, as far as I can remember. So when I got my first car, it was already in me. I already knew a lot about it. I knew. So there's I got that in 2007. So from 2007, I've just been doing the same thing. Then Facebook came. Then Facebook enabled us guys who love our cars to find each other, because we didn't know. Like I was in the other side of Nairobi, someone else was there. So when there's a Facebook group about Nairobi and sports cars, and I jumped in and I met a lot. And all 95% of the people I know right now are just because of the car stuff, the car scene. So yeah, after Facebook, we started meeting up, hanging out, attending events together, because now the hottest events then were the Safari Rally.
Yes.
So we used to go for the rally together, hang out together. Like we were buddies. And then we discovered that we need an outlet for what we do. That's when we started thinking about closing down roads so that we can do what we do safely. The bikers did it before us, so they're the ones who gave us a bit of motivation.
Okay.
Yeah, so they did. I think in 2011 or 2012 they closed down a place in Kiambu near Tatu City.
Oh yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, so they closed down a section of the road, and we were like, wow, this is some international stuff.
I'm sorry to interject,
Yeah.
but when you close down these particular roads, don't you inconvenience other road users? And what is the procedure to actually closing down these roads? Because there could be more groups
that are interested.
that are planning on doing this.
Okay. So now what happens is, first of all, you don't close down roads that are busy.
Okay.
Somewhere between Tatu City, if you've been to Tatu City, there's a bunch of wilderness and there's nothing that happens there, especially then. So you look for a nice piece of empty road and you close it down. You notify everyone, notify
the authorities?
Yeah. So you notify the villagers, everyone. You just tell them on this and this day. And they're happy. Then they're
here to watch us.
Then they're like, yeah, come back. And because it's not even for the economy. This place is empty. And if there was a kiosk or a kibanda there, they are going to sell out on that day. Because our fans are 1,000 plus. We used to hit 1,000 plus. Now we hit more. So yeah, most guys are usually happy. 99% of the area is happy. They are like, yeah, come back again. We want to.
It's entertaining.
Yes.
I am curious about the Mama Mboga.
Yeah.
Where do they put their Mboga this time?
They will sell.
Where are they? I'm fearful. Where are the fans standing on the roads?
No,
for the rallies, we can actually see them.
Yeah, it's the same concept with the rally. In a corner, there's a safe area, there's a dangerous area. So in a corner, the inside of the corner, if the car is going like this, so the inside is safer, the outside is not safe, because that's where the car might roll. So we have, there's a science to it. So there's a way where you place fans, there's spectator areas. So we sometimes usually come up with spectator areas or create the spectator areas.
You create, okay.
Yeah, so that we have a place where we know there's significantly less risk or no risk. Yes.
So a lot of expertise comes into play as well.
Yeah, you don't just wake up and decide you want to do this kind of events. Yeah.
See, you know, when we discuss it here, it looks really easy. Like, oh my God, I have a Subaru, I have this, let's do this. A lot happens.
Yes.
And of course, the security of those people there, they have to be secured.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen when people are crowded.
Yes.
What's your preferred car?
Preferred car.
Yeah, you mentioned the one in 2007,
yes,
but now you've been in this for about
actually, it's
more
the same
years
car
now.
in just different, it's heavily modified now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I want to keep it forever. I want to give it to my son. Hopefully, he does not destroy it. Yeah, Nakuana. Hopefully, he does not destroy it, but I want to give it to him. That's one of the things I want to give him. I want to that's okay. Hopefully, he also has the same passion as me. He might decide he wants to ballet.
Wow, wow, what a contradiction. But if he does one, but most of the times when we even watch these stars, you know, like Lewis, I'm not saying he has that same, you know, story. They say, well, my dad was a racer. And so it seems to be something that people are passionate about. But don't you think we'd have better, you know, drivers on the road if they're all passionate about, you know, but of course they cannot be like
they
that.
Can.
But
yeah, you can. Yeah.
It's a bit careless on our roads. There's a bit of antagonism, if you've noticed, even cars against cars, which are now saying, let's come fight, you know, in a secluded place so that child can cross the road to school safely.
Yes, exactly, yeah. So my preferred car.
Yes.
That one is that one. But then again, if maybe I get a windfall or there's that dream car and there's my preferred car. So I'm driving my current dream car, so I'm happy.
Oh, see, we needed these things unveiled to us. If you have met Kay somewhere here and there, now you know that what he's driving is actually his dream car. And we want to talk about your expertise in repair. You repair this particular car.
I fix and I have a workshop that fixes and builds these kinds of
builds.
things.
Okay. Yeah. About building that.
Yeah. Because when I started, there was I think maybe just one workshop in Kenya, one or two, just one that was doing this kind of things. So I just felt like there's enough space for us. So I started, it's called tuning, modifications and tuning. So I have a workshop that does modifications and tuning for these kinds of cars, mostly Subarus. Okay. So it's just, this one was because of passion. It's because I felt like I had a passion for it and there was a gap in the market, so I jumped on board.
Tuning. Look, I don't know if this is irrelevant to this conversation, but I have seen tiny cars with really big tires. For some reason, they're pimping them. Or is this? But do you think it's wise to do that? Because you're doing some of these things. I'm just curious because it's probably not on Motorsport, but you having to build and tune and modify. Maybe tell me what they're thinking when they do that.
So,
is it good for road safety?
It's if done right. It's not dangerous. We usually do things right. We don't, like, there's people raise cars using using spacers. We don't encourage that. There's actual springs that raise the car.
Okay.
It's just small things like those. So there are ways to do it right. I am
what
not
happens
against.
If you do it wrong?
If you do it wrong, then maybe, you know, now there's issues with the stability of the car. The car will not feel right. And it's more dangerous. Now, maybe one day you'll hit a bump and the car will just lose control when it shouldn't lose control, you get. So that's when you do it wrong. But I believe pimping is just someone getting their own, like, it's their personality, it's them. They want their car to reflect them or to be different. I would never, I also, like, if you see any of my cars, even if it's a normal car, you will notice there's something different with it. I don't believe in driving a normal car. I feel like it's boring. I feel like you're boring.
You just told that to all the viewers back at home. This is how I'm going to close the show, but you need to attack him on which social media platforms. He said
just pretend.
you all whose cars are not, just how they were from the manufacturers and factories and assembling, companies, you all are boring. You said that.
How am I going to identify you just from your number plate? just do something different, just a bit different.
This is just how car enthusiasts talk. The rest of us don't even care about how the car is different. But we're loving to see how, how different this means to you guys. Some people don't understand that it's actually beautiful to actually bring this into perspective. And of course, Kahara M. David will be the last comment I'll read this morning on the Arrival Live, not the last comment I'll read the entire morning till 10 a.m. And he's saying, good morning, I hope we have covered spectators' safety. And you mentioned?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, we did. Like I said, we just make sure it's a science to it. You create areas where they stand, where they are. If need be, sometimes the county brings in their own officers. We've worked with NYS. We've worked with. We always work with the police.
Okay.
But of late, we've been working with private security companies that we find that are more effective and more overzealous with their work. So they really put in work when they're asked to. Okay. So we work with private security and the police and the county. So and trust none of them are going to let us skimp on safety. They are all watching. Yeah. They're all watching. So the county doesn't want to be involved in an event that is not safe. The police do not want to be involved in an event that is not safe. Yes, and even like if I hire, the organizers, even KK, the sponsors will not be involved in an event that is risky. Okay. So they all want safety to go. Safety is 100%. Safety is paramount for events. Okay. Yeah. So. And I like when you mention stakeholders. Yeah. Because that's what we've always been trying to achieve on Arrival Live, that we can hear that this one comes on the table and people reason together and then we still achieve road safety. So this was just for all of you who love to speed, and it's in you, it runs in the family, it runs in your veins. You don't have to do it on, Wayaki Way or Uhuru Highway. If you want to join them, you want to figure out how to join them. We're wrapping up and also give your last remarks. So you can follow us on our socials. We're on it's called Club TT Motorsports. If you just search TT or Club TT Motorsports, you'll find us either on all socials, Insta, Facebook, Twitter. So from there you can ask away. Yeah, we are there for you guys.
Amazing. So hey, we give you an option, an alternative. Please don't speed on our roads. Find out how it goes down on TT, there are amateurs, and also you can also figure out the, how do you call these other ones? Drifting?
Drifting, yeah. So in fact, in April, first day of Easter, April 15th, we're having an event in Machakos. Okay. We're calling it Masaku TT. So it's we're going to have a bunch of all these things happening. We're going to have drifting, we're going to have the normal racing on the track, we're going to have a car show, we're going to have a festival. So it's something that if you want to see what we do, you can come. If you want to learn, you can still come and see how we do it, engage with guys. There's someone starting a school. So there's all these things happening. So
we have a plot.
Yes.
Guys, arrive safe. Be on the... Don't exceed the speed limits. You can keep that for the 1st of April and any other event, and you'll find out more on their social media handles. But thank you very much for gracing the show. You laughed a lot and made everyone else happy in studio. We'll follow closely as well. Most people are curious about it. I mean, there's a lot of feedback on Motorsport. I did not know there are so many fans, people who love to race, who watch the Arrival Live.